Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, somebody's energy is changing here. Before you panic and think, oh my gosh, who's leaving? Just wait a minute, because this reading isn't necessarily about someone physically disappearing from your life. It may more be about the relationship or an attachment, maybe even a pattern or even a version of yourself that you simply cannot carry forward anymore. All right. So I think some of you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So welcome in, my beautiful Pisces, Aries, Cuspers. Welcome back to the Mystical Soul Tribe. And hey, if you're new here, welcome in. All right. This is your eclipse relationship reading. Who is being eclipsed out of your life? And we're going to be looking at what this energy is, what is happening, what you may not be seeing, what is making space for something new, and what Spirit wants you to do about it. All right. Now, this could be romantic. Remember to take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. Again, this could be romantic. It could be a friendship, a family member. It even could be somebody that you're working with. All right. So welcome in. Thank you for hitting the like button, beautiful souls, leaving those comments, being subscribers here. And let's dive into the first card here from the Neon Tarot. All right. It's just a small deck. Here we have the Five of Pentacles here. All right. Let's clarify this. Five of Pentacles, though, I feel like it's very interesting. Five of Pentacles, all right. Because the first thing, with the Five of Pentacles is we see we get the energy of being left out of the cold almost, all right. But there's two people here working on this pentacle, all right. Here's the King of Swords, clarifying the King of Swords. Okay, so Five of Pentacles can talk about a relationship where somebody has felt unsupported, ignored, exhausted, abandoned, or simply like they not getting what they need. All right. Oh, they're working on that one big pentacle there. All right. Ancestral energy could be significant as well. Like it looks, I mean, these two figures actually looks like ghosts. All right. Now, King of Swords, I feel like could absolutely be somebody else. All right. It could be, for some of you, this could be you. Or yeah, like I said, or it can be, it's the energy, you or somebody else. This is the energy. The King of Swords is the energy of, it's masculine energy, somebody that's very logic, detached, emotionally controlled personality. Whether it's you thinking of a feminine or a masculine, all right, it's just this is masculine energy coming up, so don't worry about gender. Someone who doesn't necessarily show their feelings easily. They might be the type of person who says, I'm just being realistic, I'm not emotional about this, this is what makes sense. Or maybe they are somebody that disappears when things get too emotional. So my Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, you may have been sitting here and thinking, okay, but what do they actually feel? Because you can understand someone's logic and still feel hurt by their behavior. And this is where I think the story gets very interesting, that some of you, this could be a romantic relationship where you've been giving emotionally, but the other person has been keeping distance. For someone else, this could even be a friendship, right? You might be the one always checking in, always asking, are you okay? Do you need anything? What's going on? But when you need someone, suddenly they're busy. Or maybe you've noticed that you always the one trying to repair the connection, all right? Or, and like maybe even eventually you start thinking, why am I working harder for this relationship than the other person is? So that's the Five of Pentacles. And the King of Swords is the energy, like it's time to look at the situation objectively. Not just through emotions, not just through your history with this person, but maybe through their actual behavior. Because sometimes somebody can say they care about you, but their behavior keeps making you feel maybe alone or left out. So, yeah, my Pisces Aries Cuspers, I think the eclipse energy may be exposing the difference I'm hearing. All right. So let me know in the comments how this is resonating with you. This is earth and air energy. All right. So let's dive in further. What is happening now? So we do have the hangman here. And we'll clarify that. The hangman, what is changing is like, okay. This is like the energy of I've been waiting long enough. It's like normally the hangman is Neptune energy, all right. This is Moon Libra energy, all right. Normally hangman is associated with Pisces, all right. The hangman is that suspended feeling, all right. Like the energy of you're not moving forward, you're not necessarily moving backwards either. You're just hanging there, waiting for someone to make a decision, waiting for a conversation, waiting for someone to change, waiting for clarity, waiting for a relationship to become what you hoped it would become. All right, but the Two of Swords is, again, more waiting, more indecision, more I don't know what to do. Maybe I should give it another chance. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe they will change. So my Pisces Aries Cuspers, this is where I want to speak with you honestly, that sometimes we don't stay because we're happy. Sometimes we stay because making a decision feels more painful than staying in the uncertainty. Think about a situation where you already know something isn't working, but maybe you kept telling yourself, like, I'll just wait and see. You wait another month and then another and another, and then suddenly you spent a whole year waiting for a situation to become something it has never shown you that it can be. All right, that's the energy here. And then I feel like this eclipse season maybe bringing that pause to an end. All right, because you've been maybe asking, maybe you're being asked to see something you may have avoided seeing. All right, remember to take always what resonates, leave the rest. Let me know in the comments, beautiful soul. So what are you not seeing here is the Seven of Cups. All right, and the Fool. Okay, Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, this is where I really want you to pay attention, because this is your weight. I never thought about it like that kind of card. Seven of Cups is the energy of, it can be confusion, possibilities, fantasies, hopes, different versions of what could happen. And then sometimes it's not what you've been lied to by another person. Yeah, sometimes it's not that you've been lied to by another person. Sometimes we creating a future in our minds based on the potential, right? We see what somebody could become. We see what the relationship could become. All right. So you remember the good moments, you remember how things used to be, and because you remember that version, you keep hoping that version will come back. All right, but here's the Fool clarifying. What if you being offered a completely new beginning? Not necessarily a new romantic partner. It could be a new friendship, a new environment, a new social circle, a new job connection, a new chapter of life, or maybe simply a new version of you. Now, here's the interesting part, right? Is that sometimes the thing stopping us from walking into a new chapter isn't that the door is closed, it's that we still standing in the old doorway looking backwards. And my Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, maybe that's what you're being asked to stop doing, to stop trying to figure out every possible outcome. Like, stop asking the questions of what if they come back, what if they've changed, what if I made the wrong decision, what if this could still work. Because, you know, sometimes the question isn't what if this person changes. The question is, What if my life changes when I stop waiting for them to? What if my life changes when I stop waiting for them to? There's a difference, right? A big difference in the question. The number 7 could be significant for some of you. Maybe it's your 7th house placement, something to do about the 7th house placement. All right. All right, looking here, who or what is making room for something new here? Here is the 4 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups, double 4s. Double 4 could be very significant for some of you, or even triple 4 I'm hearing. All right. Maybe it's a synchronicity that you've been seeing for a while. A Capricorn energy, a Cancer energy could be significant. Maybe you want to pay attention to the 4s as a personal synchronicity. All right. But yeah, let's look at the cards themselves. 4 of Pentacles can be about holding on to people, holding on to old memories, holding on to control, holding on to what is familiar, because at least you know what you're dealing with. Now, the 4 of Cups, clarifying, I feel like, but are you actually satisfied with what are you holding on to? That's the question, because you can hold on to something very tightly and still not be happy. You can say, this person has been in my life for 10 years. Okay, but has the relationship been healthy for the last 10 years? You can say, we've been friends in school. Okay, but does that relationship still fit who you are today? Right? So you can even say, that's my family. I have to keep putting up with it. But does that mean you have to keep accepting the behavior that hurts you? And this doesn't mean that you need to dramatically cut everybody off. It just sometimes the change is much quieter. Maybe you stop explaining yourself. Maybe you stop chasing. Maybe you stop being available 24/7. Maybe you stop rescuing people from the consequences of their own choices. Maybe you simply stop trying to force closeness where there isn't mutual effort. Because an eclipse doesn't only remove, sometimes the eclipse creates the space. All right? And what I really want you to remember that is, I really want you to remember that sometimes an eclipse creates space, it doesn't necessarily move people, all right? Because if something is leaving, there may be something healthier trying to enter. A relationship where you don't have to constantly question where you stand. A friendship where you don't have to beg for basic effort. A family connection where boundaries are respected. Maybe perhaps even a work connection where people actually value what you bring. Or even a soul tribe where you finally feel, oh, I don't have to pretend to be somebody else. All right. Thank you again for hitting that like button, beautiful souls. I appreciate you letting me know in the comments. Okay. So what should you do now, Pisces, Aries, Cuspers? Here we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. I'm hearing here, lead with your heart. Okay. And here's the Emperor. Clarifying. I'm hearing lead with your heart, but have boundaries. That is your lesson, all right? Here's your energy coming through, right? Pisces and Aries. You can have the Pisces energy and can feel deeply. You can understand people. You can see someone's pain. You can remember their good side. And you can think maybe they going through something, and then your Aries side eventually wakes up and says, okay, but what about me? And that combination can create a very interesting relationship pattern that you may forgive someone before they actually changed. You may understand someone before they've taken the responsibility. You may give someone another chance because you know why they behaved the way they did. But understanding someone's behavior doesn't mean you have to keep accepting it. So the Emperor is saying you have standards. Love people, care about people, forgive people if that's what you feel is right for you. but don't abandon yourself to keep someone else comfortable. If a conversation needs to happen, have it. If you need to express your feelings, express them. If you need to walk away, walk away. If you need to create distance, create distance. And if somebody shows you through the actions that they are capable of meeting you halfway, then you can decide what happens next. But don't do all the emotional work for people, is what I'm hearing. All right. So let's look at your final card here of Spirit's advice. We have Strength. Leo energy coming through here. And the Sun, more Leo energy. This isn't, how can I say, strength isn't about fighting. It's about self-control. It's about knowing your worth without needing to prove it. The Sun is clarity, warmth, truth. So Spirit's message feels very simple here is don't be afraid of the truth. If someone belongs in your life, truth will destroy the connection. And if a connection cannot survive honesty, boundaries, and your growth, then maybe the connection was already changing. So I'm hearing here that you don't have to force something to stay simply because you're afraid of what happens when it leaves, because sometimes the greatest act of strength isn't holding on. Sometimes it's saying, I love you, but I can't keep doing this to myself. And that can apply to a person, all right? A relationship, a friendship, a family dynamic, a work situation, maybe even an old version of yourself. So my Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, I'm hearing not everyone who leaves your life is a mistake or was a mistake. Some people were chapters, some people were lessons, some people were mirrors. Some showed you exactly what you needed to heal. And some were meant to walk beside you for a little bit much longer. But the point isn't to obsess about who is leaving over this eclipse season or during this period or whenever this finds you. All right. Maybe this can find you any other time when there's another eclipse or any time in your life. It's just about, because this is timeless. All right. So the point isn't to obsess about who is leaving. The real question is who still belongs in the life you're becoming. Because I feel like the eclipse energy is asking you to stop looking only at what you're losing, but start noticing what becomes possible when you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. And my Pisces, Aries, Cuspers, you don't need to chase the new. You don't need to force anything, all right? You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You just become very almost honest about what feels aligned and what doesn't. Because the Sun is talking about that clarity is coming and strength. You are strong enough to handle the truth. Maybe you want to share with us in the comments, what are you finally ready to stop carrying? Is it a person? Is it a relationship pattern? Or is maybe being the one who reaches out, waiting for someone to change? Or is it maybe an old version of yourself? Drop it below in the comments. Share it with your brothers and sisters. And put there in the comments, I choose myself. I choose myself. I want to see how many Pisces, Aries, Cuspers are stepping into this next chapter together. And if this reading resonated with you, please like the video. Leave that comment. Be a subscriber here. Help this channel grow. All right. And remember, an ending isn't always a punishment. All right. Sometimes it's simply the universe making room for something that finally matches who you become. So beautiful souls, I'll see you in the next one. I'm sending you love and light.